Hello, this is my case study on the internet use violations. We know that the school that was taking place in this case study is a prominent community school, very rich community. The principal, Dr. Smith, he's very seasoned with a great reputation in the community. Miss Tate, the victim, is a young teacher. It's only her second year of teaching. She has difficulty implementing strategies to increase the positive interactions with students, and we know that students speak poorly of Miss Tate's classes. We know that Miss Tate feels threatened and is very upset. Dr. Smith, the principal, has been contacted about the threat through Miss Tate, and Dr. Smith takes investigating the seriousness of the threat into his own hands. Miss Tate and Dr. Smith have a plan to debrief before school the next morning, and Miss Tate feels so threatened that she is not staying by herself that night. What we do need to know is who made the threat. Right now there are assumptions going on, but we are not for sure. We don't have any evidence of it. What does the person mean by the verbiage used in the threat? In the threat, it says that Miss Tate needs to disappear. Miss Tate made the assumption that it automatically meant that they want to kill her, but making someone disappear could mean getting them fired, kidnapping. What exactly do they mean by making her disappear? Why haven't strategies in the classroom been effective for Miss Tate? Did the threat come from a student? Right now, like I said, it is assumed that it is, but there is no evidence of it. Why is this class so upset with her? Do the police need to be contacted? And are there other threats being made towards other staff members in the school? Or is Miss Tate the only one? The problem, Miss Tate has trouble establishing relationships with students. She has been threatened. She received an email and with a link to a Facebook page that had some very intense comments being made. The principal focuses on maintaining reputation with the parents and the students because of his known reputation and positive reputation. He is very eerie on making sure that he doesn't ruin that if not needed. The proposed plan of action is I want to identify the parties that are being involved. So I know Miss Tate's involved, Dr. Smith, the principal's involved. I want to involve the local police department if needed. The IT department to determine where exactly this email was being sent from and the URL of the Facebook page. And then, if needed as well, probably bring in the superintendent or the crisis response team if the district has one. I want to interview Miss Tate's students and involved parties. So right now there's assumptions that this threat was brought on by William Hall just from previous interactions with him. So I want to interview him, but also I want to interview with peers with potential knowledge of the threat. So possibly students have heard about something going on, or frustrations or gossip going around the school. I'd also like to take a chance to interview any parents of students I have concerns of. You never know, they might have overheard their kids talking at home or a group of kids talking. I'd also like to cooperate with the local police investigation, so I would give any emails that they need for me, relay information on past issues with the class, so all the issues I've been having, or Miss Tate has been having, and then identify district communication needs. So for our district, we have one specific person that relays communication to the community. So if that is at this district as well, I would make sure that I'm identifying that person. All right, I need to improve Miss Tate's classroom environment, set her up with a teacher mentor, and some professional development, and then also give her some ideas for positive communication and positive behavioral supports. That's huge. She really needs to improve that classroom environment. And then after helping her with those those professional development ideas and giving her that mentor, I want to evaluate Miss Tate's classroom management progress through observations and evaluations, through weekly feedback, so she has that consistent feedback to grow on. And then also, I want to give some student surveys and even maybe some focus groups to kind of see how the students are feeling, if they're seeing any change in the environment. And then I want to review digital citizenship with the students school-wide. I think that's something that's important, that is always a continued issue and needs to always be brought back up. So discuss with the students the consequences with making threats. I think many times students aren't quite aware of the severity of that. And then also talk with the parents about parental monitoring of technology use at home as well. What is best for the students? Well, the student safety and well-being is best for the students. They need to feel safe at the school, and that will help promote the academic success. If they're feeling safe, they can be successful in academics. If they're not feeling safe, they have a million other things going on in their head, emotionally, socially, everything going on. We need to have a healthy and positive school environment. I need to have clear and consistent expectations. All students will be held to disciplinary infractions outlined by the district policies. Continue to have positive interactions with school personnel, developing strategies to enhance student-family relationships. So in my current school I'm in, we do a checklist, and we make sure that we send home or interact or communicate with our students' parents, every single student, every month at least one time. And we checklist that and we send it in to our principal every month. That just kind of keeps us accountable and helps our students kind of feel loved and get that positive interaction with them. Also, digital citizenship communicated to staff, students, and the community. That's important because we only have the students for a certain amount of time throughout the day, so we can stress digital citizenship in the classroom, but if they go home and do the complete opposite, well, then it's kind of taking steps backwards on that. My reflection, I think some of the things I'm thinking are, why aren't the students connecting with Miss Tate? What is going on in that classroom? Or how is Miss Tate presenting herself that is making those student connections not there? What has caused students to be so upset with Miss Tate, and how can we move forward in building positive relationships with Miss Tate and her students and her students' parents? Feeling overwhelmed by investigative procedures. It is a huge process, and it is a very serious process. I'm disappointed by students' actions because, well, no one wants to get threatened, whether you're an adult or a student or whatever. Being threatened is never a good feeling, and so I'm disappointed that students felt that that was okay to do. But I'm motivated to use this as an opportunity for change. I value the safety of staff and students, a positive learning environment for all students, and a positive reputation with community members. Unresolved issues. Who threatened Miss Tate, and is it just a prank? Can the positive relationships be restored through student relationships and the parent relationships? And then the conflict between upholding reputation versus what's best for students. So the principal was really concerned about his reputation. He has a good one, and he didn't want to ruin that. But there's also that school safety issue, so it's kind of going back and forth on what is the most important thing at this time. Promoting academic success with integrity. I want to value student and staff concerns. I'm going to use facts to drive decisions, not just assumptions. Working to improve the future success of all students and the fairness in determining outcomes by following district and school policy. Utilizing the district crisis response procedures is helping me do this fairly. Adhering to district school policy for the threats shows support to all staff and students. Also, I think it's really important to, I know I keep repeating myself, but just to make sure that you aren't making any assumptions, because that's the worst feeling. If you assume something or assume someone is guilty and then you're wrong, it's harder to ask for forgiveness, I think, in that sense, because you just feel so guilty and feel so bad. So just making sure that you're getting those facts and being fair through it all, and not just assuming because of reputations throughout the school. Okay, and through the ethical matter, being consistent with policy and procedures for school threats. Always doing what's best of the best interest of students, and the database information to inform decisions. So, example, making that assumption with William. That was kind of jumping to conclusions. She said, well, William and I kind of butt heads in class, so he probably did this. Well, she has no facts behind that. That's just an emotion. That's a feeling. There's no facts behind that he is the one that made this threat. And that is my case study. Thanks.